There we go. I think we're cooking with gas now, baby. Sorry for being a few minutes late. Had some stuff to do around the house. Let me make sure I can hear myself. We know the drill. I gotta log into the tubes real quick. Make sure I can hear myself. And if I can hear myself, we all gravy. Gravy, baby. Let's see here. Gravy, baby. Oh, well, that's Twitch. Gravy, baby. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we straight. We straight. All right, let me bring up Navigraphs. And we're going to jump into this here flight. So I actually had a request to fly a PC-12. So that's what we're going to be flying tonight. We're going to be flying a PC-12 from, let me see what part of Alaska we're looking at here. From Anaktuvik Pass, Anaktuvik Pass, I think that's how you pronounce it, down to Fairbanks. About an hour-long flight. So we're going to do that tonight. Let me just do one last thing on OBS here. I'm sorry. I'm usually a little more prepared than this, but I was running late, and I apologize for running late. I don't usually run late, but tonight I did. All right. So let's get our aeroplane. That's not it. It's the Vision Jet. All right. Coronado. All right, let's see here. Let's change up the livery tonight. Let's see. What's a good Alaskan livery? It's one that we haven't flown before. I'm not going to spend too long looking at this, but I just want to check out a few of them. See what you look like. Oh, that's kind of nice. I kind of like that with the red and the gray. Yeah, let's fly that thing. All right, so that's going to be our plane. Let me make sure we have ATC options on. All right, piloting, assistant checklist, nope. AI radio. Oh, actually, let me use my controller for this. All right. AI radio communications ATC, that is on. And user experience, ATC, enforce the flight plan, and voices. All right, very good. Now let's come down to Mapski. And let's go ahead and here, and let's put the tail number in for this plane. So this plane, it was, I guess, since it's like a private plane, there's no like call sign, but I do have the tail number, the registration number. So that's what we're going to put on this tail. Pretty sure it's public information, being that I got it right off of FlightAware. All right, 708 RE. So if you were to go into FlightAware and type in this right here, November 708, RE, it will pull up this plane. All right. I don't think it's called your mama, but, but that is the right tail number. All right, let's see here. And for fuel tonight, we are at 450-ish. And for total takeoff weight, we're at 37. So our cargo is 175 and our payload is 731. So let's bump this up a little bit. All right, that's good. And we can turn the juice down here a little bit. Let's do that. That looks good. All right, very good. So that's all set. Now, let me plug in the airport, and then I'm going to plug in the time. And we're going to do live weather, but let me at least get the right airport here. So we have PAKP. I got to keep an eye on the Twitch chat tonight too. I didn't do that last night, and somebody was messaging me. I don't usually have Twitch pulled up while I'm flying, but I guess I will tonight. Hey, what happened? It was that guy's idea about flying to PC-12, so came close to doing one of those doctor flights again down in Australia, but we just did one of those, so I didn't want to do that again. All right, and a Tuvik. And we should be taking off from runway 2 tonight. At least that's the plan, because I have a departure from there. Let's go to gate 3. I always like gate 3. And let's go in here and let's do live weather. And let's put the air rack information back. Again, let's use my dad's birthday. If it lets me. That's so strange. Why wouldn't it let me go back? We'll just go forward again, I guess. Come on, you bitch. All right, let's go there. And let's go back to 2023. And all right, fuck it. That looks like a good date to me. And this plane took off around 2:55 Alaskan time. It's 9 hours behind UTC time. So let's plug in. So we'll plug in like 2:20. That looks good to me. All right, let's go flying. We may have to adjust the time again. It doesn't look like it kept it. All right. Let's get going. Let's get rolling. That was actually fun making that Aerofly video. I kind of miss making those Aerofly videos. I really like all the editing and adding music and shit. I mean, it's fun. I like doing it. I would do it for other people if they needed me to do it. I like doing that kind of stuff. I'm probably going to be putting another Aerofly video together here in the next couple of days. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to record it. And I can't use the controller anymore. The last quote-unquote update that Aerofly did with it, I can't use the controller anymore. I used to be able to push the options button on the PlayStation controller, and that used to let me go between being able to fly the plane with the joysticks or using the joysticks to like navigate around the plane. And now when I hit the options button, it brings me to the pause menu, and that doesn't work. Like, there's no way to get around it either. All right, let me see what we're working with here. Never been to this airport before. All right, is this really 2-something in the afternoon? No way. I'll be damned, it sure is. I mean, I know Alaska kind of runs a little bit different on time, but man, that's crazy. It's like almost nighttime. All right, let me turn my headphones up a little bit. And let's get the here checklist out. Oh, that's right, there's no checklist. Oh yeah, this plane is easy, I forgot. That's right. I forgot how kind of simple this plane is. All right, let's turn on batteries. Standby bus on. Put our navigation lights on, let people know we're in the plane. Come down here and let's click this enter button when we can. So we can start aligning the navigation up. Hopefully everybody's having a good Monday. Welcome to the airplane show for this Monday night, January 8th. All right, let's click OK here. And let's click OK here. All right, very good. Let's come back here and put some lights on. That, and let's put this on 50% for now. And cabin light, set this to 50. All right, very good. Now let's go ahead and close this fuel switch. Put on the oxygen. All right, we'll adjust the trim here in a moment. Let's go ahead and get our engine started up. So let's put the fuel pumps on, ignition on, and let's click the starter button. N2 gets up right about there. We're going to move this here lever up to ground idle. There goes our engine. There goes our engine. So we should probably put the beacon light on. All right, now that that's up and rolling, let's go ahead and turn on generator 1, generator 2, the inverter generator switch, and turn off the standby bus. And we can now turn on avionics 1 and 2. Set these back to auto and set the ignition back to auto. Put on our passenger signs. Hopefully the screens stay on the whole time. I think we'll be okay. All right, now we need to open up this little case here. And we need to move these back to normal. And we need to come over here. Turn that off and put these on clockwise. That's what the CW and the CCW stands for, clockwise and counterclockwise. All right, and all that is okay. All right, let's come up here and set our flight plan. So I'm going to use the controller because I have to interact with these two switches to actually input the letters and all that. So let's click flight plan. Let's go to this knob here and push it in and start turning it. So we got P, now we'll go to the big knob, turn it clockwise. A is next, so let's go again, and use the little knob to add the letters. So we got PAKP. Very good, let's hit enter. And let's go ahead and enter our first waypoint, which is, where did it go? Well, let's actually do our departure procedure first, because I don't know if that waypoint's going to be a part of it or not. Okay, yep, Akumi 5. Looks good, let's load that. Now we need to push in on this knob again. Use the big wheel to go down. Yeah, see, there's Akumi right there. Okay, very good. Let's clear that out. Let's go back down again, and after Akumi we have BTT. 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 Been looking forward to this flight for a while today. Sir. All right, battles. Let's push in again. Back down. We have, I think, one more waypoint to put in. Yeah, one more waypoint, then we can put our airport in. And this is DRRLL. DRR. Oh shit. Fuck. These fucking buttons. think probably me moving a little too fast, probably. RR. Or LL. There we go. Let's push enter. All right, let's clear out that waypoint there. And now let's go ahead and plug in our airport. That's PAFA, P-A-F-A for Fairbanks. We're not going to do an arrival tonight, but we are going to do an approach. So let's click procedures. We're doing an approach. We're doing the ILS for runway 20 right. So let's go there. Let's push enter. And we are doing musher. Load that. All right, now let me look at our approach here. And we need to be at 3,400 feet is our capture point. I'm going to plug in 4,200 because that's the beginning of our landing. You know, that's the beginning, that's the initial air fix. So let's go to VNAV. And let's push enter on this button. We're going to make our target altitude 4,200 feet. So let's go one more over. Let's go 4,200. Enter. Go down to like half a mile. So leave that at 0. Put this at 0. And put this at like a half a mile. And we are going to do that a half a mile before Musher. So let's go over, hit enter. Go here. Let's put in Musher. Enter. Go down here, and we're going to put in 1,200 feet. So I like that. On this plane, that's a pretty good descent angle, at least in my opinion. All right, so we are all set for our VNAV. Our flight plan is all set. Let's change this screen to what I like, which is this screen here. And I mean, there are other screens you can play with in here, but I haven't really found a use for them in this plane. So now let's see if we have any takeoff constraints on our chart here. That is a big fat no. And what is our cruising altitude tonight? I think it's 25,000 feet actually. 24,000 feet. So let's program that now. All right, very good. We are all set. What's that? Anti-ice. Okay, no problem. What are we on here? We are on GPS, which is good. Let's call the ATC and get our ground clearance. And we'll roll out. Oh, I guess we don't need to. Oh, never mind. Fuck. Whatever. Let me look up the METAR information because it's not. Well, you know what? Let's see if they have it in here tonight. Let's we have live weather on. Let's see if the METAR shows up. Sure as shit it does. Look at that. That is great. All right, so we have 180 degrees, gusting to 8 knots, 16 knots. You can see for 10 square miles, it's overcast to 8,000 feet. 2957 is the magic number here. So let's change our barometer to 2957. That's the info I wanted to see. That's pretty cool because a lot of times this doesn't work, the METAR information. All right, let's go ahead and turn on the anti-ice equipment. So let's put on the commercial separator, and we'll do props and we'll do probes. Let's put on our taxi lights. And lights too, I guess, while we're taxiing. And that yellow light is now gone. And we got left and right fuel pump. They should be on auto. Yep, they are. All right, very good. Let's get rid of some of these interior lights here. All right, very good. Now we're ready to roll. Let's go, bitch. I just have to figure out which way is runway, our runway. All right, so we're taking off runway 2, so it looks like it's behind us. All right, let's put some flaps down, release the park and brake. A little bit of throttle. Park and brake release. I think it's really cool that the light turns with the plane. I know it's on the nose wheel, but I still think it's really cool. Oh, is this truck going to race us? You racing this little truck? You probably win the initial part, but we'd catch up to you. Well, I had no idea 2 o'clock in the afternoon was this dark in Alaska this time of year. That's crazy. Screen below I'll go over a little bit when we get in the air and all that. It's useful a little bit. We don't have live weather on this plane or a traffic warning system. I'm sorry, we have traffic, but we don't have like the ground warning system. So I think it's not very useful, but it does have some features that we can use. Turn around, we'll turn nav on. Clear out that message. That message, I'm sure, just wants us to tune our heading to a certain heading. Let's stop the old airplane. All right, let's go ahead and click on nav. Let's see what this message says. Yeah, set course to 22. So let's go ahead and turn our heading to 22. It said course. I don't You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. There's no reason to turn the course to 22. All right, let's put this on, I guess, 5. We're on GPS mode for both places there. Transponders on. Let's go ahead and put on landing lights and strobe lights. And all that is good. Cabin heating. All right, very good. Let's take off. Now we do have to monitor this ITT. It can't cross over at 800, and we have to make sure that we don't give it too much throttle on the takeoff, because we don't want to get into the red with this airplane. So other than that, we should be fine. So let's go ahead and release our park and brake. A little bit of throttle. These planes are still jumping aside. Look at this. I wonder why it's doing that lately. That is crazy as hell. I mean, I know single engine planes tend to lean to that side when they first start. It's like every plane I've been flying lately has just been like pulling to that side. Air. We're lower than 800 on the ITT. Let's put the park and brake up. I mean, the landing gear up. Nose down a little bit so we can gain some, get some speed going here. Autopilot on, IAS mode on. Those warning lights came on before because our ITT was going over 800. Yeah, that thing don't play. All right, I want to increase our speed a bit, so I think I can use this. No, I can't use that down feature. I have to do... Well, we can try it. I think we can try it. I've run into issues with it before. Oh, it looks like it's doing it. I've run into issues where it actually changes the altitude. We should be at around 170 knots for our climb, so let's get this programmed and actually increase our torque a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Almost at a good speed. $160. All right, that looks good right there. Let's increase our torque a little bit. Actually, slow down a little bit. Let's bring our nose up a little bit. That'll be good right there. Let's go ahead and we can turn off our extra lights. And we are good. Yep, right on 170. Yeah, so this screen down here, so we can turn on traffic. It has our heading. I'm not really sure why it's not on our trip right now, but so we can adjust the range with this. Oh, I know why. It doesn't have, I guess this doesn't do the takeoff, the departure. Our departure takes us around and then it'll pick this back up. So on this, we also have, traffic and terrain warning system. You can see the terrain right here and everything working. We can turn the azimuth lines, on or off. It also has our trip info, so it has the ETA for each different waypoint, the mileage in between them, the heading, the ETA to each one of them, track, ground speed, UTC time, our time. If you want info on the airport, here's info on the communication frequencies, like to reach the ATC and all that there. And we have nearest airports and their frequencies to give them a call. And then I've never done anything with auxiliary, and weather doesn't usually work. So, and I've never really been able to get it to do anything, but maybe it's working now because I do see some stuff, but I don't know if that's accurate or not. So yeah, so this thing is pretty cool. It kind of fills in some of the blanks of what this system here doesn't do. All right, we can actually increase our speed a little bit. I know we're in the yellow, but it's okay. Our ITT is still under 800, and looks like we're climbing at a pretty good rate, about 1,500 vertical feet per minute. Sync up our heading. Should be able to push this in. There we go, man. We are golden pony boy. Nago PC-12. Alaskan adventure. We'll go to standard pressure here. Momentarily, it's 18,000 feet. Made this roast for dinner tonight, man. Whew. That thing was crucial, let me tell you. And it's so easy to cook them things too. I just put a big old piece of roast. Today we used bottom round. Usually we use eye round. Eye round cuts some really nice pieces, but today we used bottom round because that's what we had available. I just put it in the slow cooker. I use one of those bags to line the slow cooker. That way the slow cooker doesn't get all fucked up. Put that roast in there, cover it with some salt and pepper. Add in a bunch of red skin potatoes and russet potatoes all cut up into like quarter pieces. Add some baby carrots in and some frozen corn. 2 cups of water. 8 hours later, it's delicious. It makes this broth that goes with it. Man, the broth is, oh my God. That broth makes such good vegetable soup. I try to save some of that broth and the trimmings as well. I take the trimmings from it and I'll soak that in. You know, I'll cook that down some more with some oil. You know, I'll make like a stock out of it. Some onion, garlic. Cook that down some more. Get rid of the rest of the fat. Cook all that fat off. Make that into some beef stock. Cabin pressure. What the fuck? All right, let's do standard pressure. 29.92. I think we're okay now. And it is that's our cabin temperature. What's the outside temperature? Down here. And we can turn off the maybe that's why that light came on. I don't think I turned the system on. Maybe that's why our system came on. Feet. This up to about here. About there. Probably should have did that before we took off. All right, so we're heading from Banu to Egami. And then once we pass Egami, we go to Akumi, and then that's it for our departure. And then we'll be en route to Fairbanks, Alaska. Yep, that was a pretty good idea, this guy on Twitch last night sending me, wanted to see the PC-12. So I looked up, as I normally do, I went on FlightAware, went to all the PC-12 flights that were happening around the world. And out of all the ones that were less than 2 hours, this one to me looked to be like the coolest. There's a couple in Australia, you know, the flying doctor service. There was some other one in Australia from, I don't know, but anyways. And yeah, and then I saw this one, like, yeah, Fairbanks. I know Fairbanks from watching, you know, Deadwood's Catch. Let's fly there. ITT is okay, torque is okay, we'll be leveling off here momentarily. crazy that it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in Alaska, and it's this dark. It's wild. Now, I do have it for December of last year, because Microsoft still hasn't updated their system yet, so I'm using the old info for waypoints and all that kind of stuff, but still, I don't know if a month would really make that much of a difference, but maybe it would. All right, let's come in here, and cabin pressure is okay now. No more people choking in the back. Sync up our heading again. All right, we are at our altitude, and let's raise our torque a little bit. Usually when you're at this kind of altitude, you can get away with a little bit of a higher torque. RPMs. See, I don't know, because like in the Meridian that I bought, the Piper M500, like at this altitude and at this temperature, the torque should be around 1300. I know that's a different airplane, but still, maybe I should, you know, as long as we don't cross this line, I think we're okay. We are getting close. Let me push back the throttle a little bit. I am hitting the B button like every couple of seconds. Trying to get it just to go backwards just a little bit. There we go. I don't want to slow up too much, but I also don't want to overspeed as well. All right, so our torque. Oh, you know what? Shit, I forgot to do one thing. Fuck. I forgot to put the. No wonder we had such a. You know, I was wondering why I was running into an issue taking off tonight. So when I was taking off, I had a really hard time getting. I was okay taking off, but getting up to speed while we were climbing, I was like, man, why am I struggling? Fuck. Like one of the most important things I forgot. I'm an idiot sometimes, that's for sure. All right, so we're now leaving our departure, and we have this waypoint, and then one more waypoint after that, and then we will be getting ready for our approach. What does VNAV say? We got 33 minutes until we need to descend. All right. Programmed that VNAV before we left. It's a pretty cool little plane. Swiss-made airplane. So I apologize again for running a few minutes late. I was cleaning up dinner, got a little sidetracked. Got a little sidetracked munching on the rest of some of the leftovers, man. That roast, man, my goodness, it's like magical when it cooks. It's one of my favorite dishes. Put it in the slow cooker for 8 hours with some potatoes and carrots and corn, and 8 hours later you have magic. falls apart. And potatoes that you can like easily cut with a fork. Carrots that you can easily cut with a fork. This great broth that the fat and everything together makes with it. Got the corn in there. I usually make some biscuits with it. Tonight we had those Pillsbury Hawaiian biscuits. That's some good eating right there, that's for sure. When I was first looking at this flight, this waypoint right here, listen, when I went into SimBrief, that was the only waypoint that they were trying to give me for the flight tonight. The flight and FlightAware was AKP, which was where we just left from, and then FAI, which is the Fairbanks VOR. But when I tried to find, I think it was AKP, but whatever it was an NDB station. It was like, where we plug it in up here, one of those non-directional, stations, and I couldn't find it anywhere on Navigraph at all. So I just kind of made my own route up tonight. So while this flight did happen, earlier, it did happen a little bit differently. Let's go here. That's good. I guess we'll leave it on that one. So you can see now our flight plan is starting to show up here now that we're actually like on the flight plan. And let's see if any weather shows up yet. I'm still not sold. I don't think weather works on this airplane. At least that's what it said in the material when I bought the airplane. It said that weather doesn't work on at least on Xbox. You have to have a subscription to a certain service for that. So, all right, base map, rain. Yeah, see, like it goes to turn on, but then it won't go on. I think I'm going to record another Aerofly video here coming up maybe tomorrow. I really enjoyed putting that one together with, as far as editing it. Recording them is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but especially now since I can't use my joystick anymore. It was a lot of fun editing that video. I had fun doing that. Back to my roots, back to Aerofly. I had somebody ask me to do a CRJ video, so I did a flight from Gdansk. I forget what country it was. Poland. I forget what country kind of borders Germany. Maybe it was Poland. I think it was Poland, actually. To Munich, Germany. It was a fun flight. It was fun flying the CRJ again. I wish they had a CRJ in here. I don't really care what model CRJ. It could be a 200, a 900, an X, 700. I think that's an extremely fun plane to fly, that CRJ. Easy to turn on. It's fun. It's fun to fly. The engines sound really cool. I like the way it looks, like the big engines at the back of the plane. I wish we had a few more jets like that, like the MD-80 or the Boeing 717. Anytime I flew an AirTran back in the day when they were around, I used to fly on AirTran a lot for the job I had back then. I always got excited when I walked over to the gate and I saw that it was a 717. I was like, yes! Fucking yes! I always got so excited. Whenever it was like a 737, I was like, playing so many times, but when I saw that with the engines in the back, I was like, all right, it's going to be a good flight. It's a love flying on AirTran. You could upgrade your seat to like the first class area, like, or business class as they called it. It was like $80 to upgrade, and the snacks were so much better. They had like the really good Lorna Doone butter cookies, and like the really good pretzels, and like the good drinks. It was worth upgrading for the $80. I think one of my kids is walking downstairs. Which one are you? Oh, it's you. What's up? What you doing? Help yourself. Use Gavin. Grab one of the ladles in the drying rack. Scoop it out instead of using your fork. It'll be easier. Or you can just, are you real hungry? Alright, scoop it out of the little container first. If you can. It's not used to make a container, but... You want to put your face on the camera real quick? No, I'm kidding. What? Flying a plane. Is that what you said? Oh yeah. I'm using it, but it makes it look like an old like kung fu video though, because my lips don't match the words. So I need to. I want to get a webcam at some point and use it on the Xbox, and then I'll be able to get it to match. But until then, my lips will never match what I'm actually saying. The camera on the laptop's recording it like 5 or 10 seconds after it gets the data from Twitch, so it's I know, because I go from Xbox to Twitch, and then I use OBS to screen capture Twitch from the laptop and put that on YouTube. What the nah, because I can't use my headphones with it. I tried it didn't work. So I plug in the headphones into the box. Yeah, I tried it a couple times. I couldn't get it to work. Yeah, I'll try it. Maybe I'll try it again tomorrow. Because I would like to use the capture card. I don't really like having to go through Twitch, because Twitch crashes often. But yeah, I tried it a few times with the PlayStation headphones, plugging them in. Yeah, but that's a capture card. That has nothing to do with Xbox. So, anyways, whatever. Flying over Alaska right now. Yeah. All right, back to the show. Let's see where we're at with our VNAV. Speed's okay. What's our message saying here? Course. Yeah, set course to 143. Get bent, buddy. All right, VNAV. We got about 23 minutes. So in this plane, you can descend a couple of ways. So it's all done with this system here. So the little knob does hundreds of feet. Big knob does thousands. And then you can either engage, push engage, and use the VS mode, and then use this up and down here to adjust the vertical speed. However, if you do that, then it does not matter what altitude you plug in, you will continue to descend until you push the altitude button. But if you want to descend to a certain altitude and have your plane level off at that altitude, then you need to use the indicated airspeed. So usually what happens when I fly this plane and I get ready to descend, I'll plug in the altitude I want to descend to, push the arm button, I'll reduce my throttle so I'm down to about 170, 160, somewhere in that area, usually around 170. And then I'll push the IAS button, and then from there on out, I'll use the throttle to control the pitch of the airplane. Kind of like what I did with the plane I flew, was it last night or 2 days ago? Anyways, there was a propeller plane I flew the last couple of days here, on stream, where I did that same method where I used the, oh no, it was on the Aerofly video with the CRJ, because the CRJ has a similar thing where, it doesn't have like the VNAV feature on Aerofly doesn't work. So that's what I do on there. There's a speed button on the glare shield, and I push that speed button, and then I use the throttle to, make it go up or down, depending on what I'm trying to do. If I choose to be at 170 on the way down, the angle that my plane's going to go down depends on how much throttle I'm giving it. If I'm giving it more throttle, it's not going to go down as steep. If I give it less throttle, it's going to be more steep to try to keep up with the speed that I have programmed it. That makes sense. All right, we are doing an ILS landing tonight. Let me go ahead and program that now. So what we're going to do is, how far do we have to our next waypoint? I'll wait until we get past our next waypoint, and then I'll program in the course and the frequency. Yeah, because Bettles right there. That's our waypoint right there. UTT VOR station. Interior of this airplane is what sold me on it. Like the outside, I was like, yeah, it kind of looks like a lot of the other planes that I've used on Aerofly. Then I saw the interior, and I'm like, oh my god, this center stack here, this center stack, and like this little thing down here, that's kind of what sold me. I was like, man, that is cool as shit looking. I really like the way the interior of this plane is set up. I think it's really cool. Down here, never noticed this before. Oh, voltage. Looks like that's UTC time. I wonder if that's accurate, if that's the amount of hours I've flown this plane. I don't know if that plane keeps track of that kind of stuff. That would be kind of cool if it did. Altitude here. OBS. VOR, ADF 1 and 2. Respectively. I like how these gauges light up. It's really cool looking, I think. All right, let's make our turn towards the aeroporto. Should be descending here pretty soon, I would think. Let's see here. We got about 20 minutes. Okay, once we level out, we'll go ahead and switch our nav source and then adjust the course. So we need a course of 203 for tonight. Final course is 203, and our decision height is 150. All right, so we're now level. So let's go ahead and sync our heading node. Let's put ourselves Yep, VOR1. And our course knob is over here. We need 203. Let's program that in. 203. Nav1 and Nav2 are the same. That's good. Let's go ahead and click on Nav. Go back into navigation mode. So that's done. Set our decision height for 150. Knob is right here. We're good. And now let's program in our frequency, which is, oh, they already have it in 110.3. At least that should be it. Let me see here. Yeah, they got it in there. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that was the right one. All right, we are doing very good. Speed's good, altitude's good. Fuel is doing good, engine oil is good. Out our VNAV. About 16 minutes left. Minutes is over, I can go eat dinner. Yeah. I didn't really eat dinner when dinner was ready. I was kind of doing some other stuff around the house. Probably shouldn't be eating this late at night, but it is what it is. Sometimes you can't help it. Put my robe on, man. It's getting a little chilly down here. A little chilly. What's my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Chilies. Baby back ribs. Alright, now we're putting the gas, baby. Sir. Coronado PC. I was practicing landing and taking off from the ocean earlier today. Kind of fun. Interesting landing in the ocean and just kind of skimming the water, skimming it, and then finally landing. And in the water, that is really where you know, like if you see me land some of these planes, you see when I kind of get close to the ground, I try to point the nose like to the end of the runway, like put the nose up and point it to the end of the runway. That's kind of what you have to do when you're landing on water. You got to reduce the throttle, keep on going down, angle that nose so it's just above the horizon. Just keep on going down, skim that water, and before you know it, you're good to go. Use 311. That's probably liters. About 14 minutes. That's our descent angle right now. Negative 41 degrees outside. We have 99. Oh, hey, we've got 99 miles until DRRLL. Should probably speed up the simulator, but it's all good. Yeah, the rest of the screens on this, might as well go through this here. So, yeah, we have these extra boxes down here. So you can use this smaller knob to cycle through them. So you have this nav screen, that nav screen, you have terrain, traffic, and your navigation screen showing you all the different satellites and all that. So that's one menu. And then we also have this menu here where we can go ahead and set up the map. Display NextRad, even though we don't have it still, but you know, I've never really found much of a use for this. It just has orientation and some basic info you can do. So, you know, it's, what is that, Garmin 530? I think that's what it says there, GNS 530. Oh, that's for the other system. That's not this Garmin system. This might be a Garmin. I don't know what Garmin system this is. Maybe a 1000 or a 750, maybe. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not the newer. Obviously, it's not the newer of the Garmin systems. Oh, look, it's the lights to Santa's house. Look at that. Maybe that's one of the roads that the ice road truckers go on from Fairbanks. I would like the weather system to work on this plane. See what these clouds are doing. Tall clouds. Yeah, I wonder what road that is down there. I wonder if it is one of the roads that the ice road truckers go on. Crazy ass show. I used to watch the hell out of that show when that show first came on. And I was like, these guys are fucking nuts. Driving that much weight on a sheet of ice for like hundreds of miles. Not being able to like pass other vehicles on the road. Like that's crazy. Like those drivers that are in like India, Africa, that drive like on those like dirt roads on the side of a mountain cliff where if they fart the wrong direction, you know, they'll fall off the edge of the cliff. Crazy. That takes a lot of balls to do something like that. But I'd be a nervous wreck, probably. I don't know for sure. You know, I'm a pretty good driver, but about driving like on the edge of a mountain like that, like no guardrail. Have a rock slide at any time. All right, let's see what VNav be doing up in here. All right, we're getting close, so let's go ahead and plug in our 4200. I wish there was a way to clear that message out. Like, I've tried hitting clear. Nothing like, the only way to get rid of it is to tune your course to this number. I mean, I understand that it comes up for information purposes, you know, but it would be nice to kind of be able to get rid of it. Alaska is gorgeous, man. I usually say how lucky it would be like to live in an area, like especially like over the water, like, you know, waterfront, you know, ocean, beaches, things like that. I'm like, oh man, must be great to live like that. You know, open your blinds up in the morning, eat a bowl of cereal, and be looking out the window and just looking at the ocean, having your windows open, having all that nice, you know, sea, you know, that beach and sea smell, you know, flowing through the house. But I don't know if I can say the same thing about living up here in Alaska. What do I get from this? I like the cold weather. I'm sure in the summer, I mean, I'm sure it's beautiful in its own respect. I mean, it's really cool looking now. I'm sure in the summertime and the springtime it's gorgeous, which I know it is. I've seen a lot of pictures and a lot of videos, but living up here in the wintertime, man, it's gotta be brutal, I would think. I think when we get to about 1100, maybe 1050, somewhere in that area for the VSR here, I think that's when I'll begin to pull the throttle back. Arm that. A few minutes. I don't think there's any speed brakes on this plane. Yeah, there's no speed brakes, so I definitely don't want to descend too fast. Never noticed that. It's got an endurance number there. That is pretty cool. I've never seen another airplane other than that Piper Meridian. I've never seen another airplane that actually has that kind of timer on it. You know, kind of letting you know how much longer you got flying this plane until you need to give it a rest. I don't know if this counts down or up, but I know that's what endurance is. You know, how many hours you can fly that plane before you need to give it a break. We're at 9:14, 9:15 and climbing. Climbing. The number is climbing. We're not climbing. Need to request a descent. Let's see if they. Yeah, okay. So it's kind of like flight following. It's not really asking us to do anything. Sometimes you need to go in there and request a increase in altitude or a decrease in altitude. All right, I'm going to pull the throttle back here when we get to about, like I said, about 10. I guess about 1100, because this number's kind of creeping. Probably, I would think probably when this gets down to about a minute, it'll probably be about when we should pull back. It's okay to descend a little early, especially when you don't have air brakes. Yeah, that endurance number is counting backwards, so it's very interesting. Never really noticed that before today. I would think the flight path angle going down, I would think it'd probably be somewhere around like 1.6, maybe 1.5. I think 3% is like 2,000 vertical feet per minute. Because, you know, some of these smaller planes like this, you can go in VNAV, you can actually choose the higher end Garmin systems. You can go in and see the flight path. You can choose the flight path angle you want to descend down to, descend down with. And a lot of these planes, it's like 1.5, 1.7, somewhere in that area. All right, so get to about a minute and then we'll pull the throttle back. Pull it back to about 170-ish, 165, somewhere in that area. Then click the IAS button and then pull the throttle back a little bit more. Let's pull the throttle back. And let's push the IAS button about now. Now we are descending. And we're currently about 15, or less than 1,500 feet per minute. So we're a little, let's reduce our throttle just a little bit more. We angle down just a little bit more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's pretty good. It's about 1,200 and some vertical feet. All right, so that's good. Let's go ahead and flip back over to our map. So I can zoom out a little bit. I don't usually do that. I'm always in fear that playing with these screens too much. It's gonna make them go out. It's gonna make them go dark. And at 18,000 feet, we'll flip into METAR. According to Fairbanks, 33 minutes ago, it was 2969. See if they have any METAR information for Fairbanks. That's crazy. How can an airport like Fairbanks not have that available? Good thing we have Navigraph. Navigraph has that info. Outside air is negative 35, so we're good with icing equipment. Unless we see that warning sign come on, we'll just keep an eye on the outside air temperature. But at negative 35 Celsius, we're definitely well below the point where we need icing. Over, eat some dinner and go back to watching my DSP detractor videos, the Almighty Tevin. I really like those videos. They're fun to watch. Almighty Tevin. He does very good videos on DSP and on Amber Link. Let's go ahead and plug in our METAR, which is 2969. We recaptured the correct vertical speed. For a little bit. We were around 800 to 1,000. So I just reduced the throttle a bit, and now we're back to where we should be. Let's go ahead and change our cabin pressure back a little bit. So the bottom number, where it says like 18, 20, 16, that's how many thousands of feet the plane actually is. The top number is what the cabin feels like. That's what the cabin's altitude feels like. I think the landing speed of this airplane is somewhere around 110 knots, I think. I don't really remember. Sounds about right to me. $29.69, right on point. No wind gusts, so we don't have to worry about adding any kind of numbers to our approach as far as speed. Usually it's the wind gust divided by half, and then you just add that number to your approach speed up to a certain number. Like some planes have a max of 10 knots you can add. Let's adjust our cabin pressure again. We have 12 miles left to DRLL, and then I think we have maybe 10 to 15 miles to our initial approach fix. It doesn't show me on Navigraph the distance, but I'm looking at it, and I think that's kind of what it might be. To throw in some icing equipment here pretty soon. Getting a lot closer to the range where we would need to put it on. I'm actually going to tune our heading to 203 right now. We are going to flip over to heading mode at some point. I don't remember if this plane switches automatically or not when you click approach mode. There's some planes where it'll switch from GPS to the localizer mode automatically when you push the approach button. I think it was one of the Cessnas that did it. I don't remember. I fly so many airplanes, I kind of forget some of those little details. They're important details, but I still forget them. Let's put on some landing lights. Our recon lights, since there's a lot of clouds out tonight. -12 Celsius. Yeah, we're gonna have to put that on pretty soon. I think that's terrain, by the way. And if it's like how other planes work, if it's like yellow, you're between 100 and 1,000 feet above the ground. If it's like light green, you know, you're 1,000 to 2,000 feet. Making our turn to our initial air fix. We got about 22 miles, so we did descend a little bit early, but we did follow the VNAV. VNAV did tell us when to descend, so. That's pretty good right there. Now from here, we do need to descend again, but not until we get to Zurich, which is about 17 miles away from our runway. We're still going to plug in the altitude, so our light scope capture is at 3,400 feet, so let's program that in. $977, very good. Can't see a damn thing out here tonight. Got dark pretty quickly here in Alaska. Actually half tempted to put on, I want to see the ground. Like, that's part of the fun of flying. Like, I like being able to see the ground. There we go. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the fun for flying for me. I like being able to see the ground. Let's put on our icing equipment. And Let's put our seat signs on. About 9 miles until Lusher. Then it's 8.4 miles to Zurich. We need to start descending again. Should be making this turn here in about a mile. Usually these planes turn when there's about a half a mile to a mile before the waypoint. So if you wait till you got there and then you turn, you'd be overshooting the course. Yeah, see, we're getting ready to turn in 4 seconds, and that's about a half a mile away. Our ILS information is now showing up, which is very good. It's a very good sign. And what I'm going to do now is switch over into heading mode. Let's switch over into heading mode. Switch our nav source. And we can click approach. Arm everything. We're still well below the glide scope capture point, so I'm not worried about adjusting any altitude at this point. That is starting to come down a little bit, so let's go ahead and reduce our throttle a little bit. Push the IAS button. Let's get down to about 3,400 feet, which is the glide scope capture point. But I'm not too worried about descending quickly at this point. So let's get somewhere around 500 to 700 vertical feet per minute if we can. Come on, let's go, baby. Let's go. There we go. Now we're going in the right direction. We don't need to do anything with flaps at this point. We're still, well over 20 miles away from the airport. All right, we'll level off at 3,400 feet. And then the glide scope should capture about 10 miles out of the airport, roughly. Let's get ready to turn. All right, the localizer has captured. It's half the battle. Slowing down a little bit. Just a little bit. You can really see it's starting to ice up a lot. It's a good thing we got our icing equipment on. Sync up our heading. That's good. All right, we are 12 miles out. Glide scope is starting to come into play. Let's put first set of flaps down. See the runway in front of us here. Glide scope should be capturing right about now. Yep. It is captured. Let's reduce the throttle. Put our gear down. The next stage is the flaps down. Again, I'm not really sure what speed this plane lands at. I think it's around 100 knots. According to the meter I'm looking at, there's no wind gusts, so we don't really need to adjust for any wind. So I think if we keep it right around 100, we'll be okay. Maybe a little bit less. Once we get down to about 100 knots, we'll put a stage of flaps down. Be in Fairbanks. Probably about 6 miles out. Yeah, about 7. Still trying to get used to the difference between kilometers and miles. Localizer 1. All right, let's go ahead and put our final flaps down. Let's try to keep this around 100. So cold. It's so cold there right now. I'm sure it is. I mean, it's -12 on the display, but it looks cold. Can't remember the last time in the simulator I had the windows like icing up and stuff. That's crazy. Hopefully the METAR information they gave us is accurate, otherwise might be a little bit of a bumpy landing. A little high, but that's all right. A little hairy when you land on the outside of the airplane. It was fun. That was such a fun trip, man. That was awesome. I'm so glad we did that one, man. That was awesome. Whoever that guy was on Twitch that recommended that was great. That was a lot of fun. So that's it for the airplane show tonight. I'm tired. I got work stuff to do tomorrow. You know, like real life stuff, not airplane, fun on the internet pilot stuff. So before you leave to check out another video on the tubes, please subscribe. Please click the thumbs up. Might not mean a lot to you, but that half a second it takes you to do it means a lot to me. So please take care of that for me. I certainly do appreciate it. And I will see y'all again tomorrow on the next episode of the Airplane